Lions, beginning with the visiting Sharks from San Diego. A 6'6" forward, number 0, Javon Nutter. A 6'2" guard, number 3, Joshua Harrison. A 6'2" guard, number 8, Bernard Johnson. A 6'4" forward, number 11, Elvin Shepard. A 5'11" guard, number 15, Quad Gedrick. The Sharks are led by head coach Brandon Cheeks. It's time to stand up and get on your feet and let's meet this afternoon's starting lineup for your Capital Seahawks. A 6'4" guard from South Alabama, number 1, Andre Fox. A 6'6" guard from Trinity College, number 3. A 6'3" guard from Florida A&M University, number 8, Nasir Kaur. A 6'7" forward, number 12, from South St. Mary's, Chris Ray. The Capital Seahawks are led by head coach Casper Williams, assisted by Ryan Harvey. And today, joined by special assistant coach, the 7-year-old Chris Best. Today's officials are John Valley, Patrick Smooth, and Contrell May.
All right, welcome to Bowie State University here in Bowie, Maryland. It's time for a 94-by-50 basketball league showdown between the Seahawks and the Sharks. Tyler Aiken for the SFBN. Thanks for joining us today. In the first year of the new look of this league, just a few weeks into the season, and it's two teams hailing from completely opposite ends of the country. The Seahawks from here, and obviously the Sharks, the only West Coast team in the league. They've made the long road trip. This is their third game in 3 days. And San Diego is still looking for its first dub of the season. 0-3. The Seahawks, meanwhile, stand at the top of the league. A perfect 4-0. Javon Nutter, Joshua Harrison, Bernard Johnson, Evan Shepard, and Quad Gedrick out there for the Sharks. And for the Seahawks, Andre Fox, Draco Palmer, Marcus Kennedy, Nasir Kaur, and Christopher Ray. And we'll take a look at the Seahawks offense first that just scored 129 points in a win over the Frederick Flying Cows last night. Took it up to 4 straight wins to start the season. And that's Marcus Kennedy, who is an all-conference player at SMU, also spent time at Villanova in college. And he uses his size advantage early for an and one. Marcus Kennedy, one of the tallest players in the league, the tallest player on the court today. He has an and one already. Dropped 20 points last night. He's actually averaging 20 points this season, and he's one of the better rebounders in the league. Puts up 13 boards a game. Although both of his colleges that he went to, Villanova and SMU, both recently lost in the NCAA basketball tournament over the last week in the first and second rounds. So now he can, I guess, fully focus on his own game here. That's Quad Gedrick, one of the leading assisters in the league, setting up the offense for the Sharks. It turns into a 3 for Javon Nutter. Does not fall. And this should be a mismatch early, although Kennedy passes out of it the other way. Gedrick goes 1-on-2 and slays the Giant. The Sharks looking to pick up win number 1 on the year. Head coach Brandon Cheek says it's all about defense. That's what's going to win this team games. Offense, it has to be based on your specific role. And Draco Palmer, he's one of the shooters for the Seahawks. That's his role. They're up 6-2. Now, San Diego does have the number 1 scorer in the league on its team, number 8, Bernard Johnson, so keep an eye out for him. He's averaging 28 points a game. But the rest of the offense has not been there. Nearly a takeaway for the Seahawks. Christopher Ray, the forward, getting in there. He played his college ball pretty nearby at Mount St. Mary's. So what a nice precursor to a day of some great basketball that'll be played late into the night. Got some semi-pro ball to get your day started. Although Johnson not looking like the leading scorer in the league on his first shot today. So if you're not familiar, the 94 by 50 league, it's the brand new name for what started as the USBL, but it's actually an offshoot of TBL, the basketball league, which has been around for quite some time, but these teams split off, wanted to do their own thing. That's Draco Palmer doing his own thing, his second bucket of the day. So mostly East Coast teams, plenty of teams around the great state of Maryland, the Frederick Flying Cows. You've got the Baltimore Rhythm. Obviously here, the Capital Seahawks. Nice block by Kennedy inside. Fast break for the Seahawks. And Palmer didn't want a third straight bucket. Instead gives it up to Nasir Kaur with some fancy footwork inside. Quick response, no good. Now when these teams played last week, actually all the way across the country in San Diego, it was a 30-point win for the Seahawks, and we are well on our way to a similar result. Timeout called by the Sharks and head coach Brandon Cheeks. So let's run through the schedule a little bit because it is a little bit wacky with the teams so far away from the rest of the programs in the league. So when these teams played 1 week ago today, again, that was across the country in San Diego, it was a 121-91 win for the Seahawks. And that was the season opener for the Sharks. The Seahawks, that was their third game of the year. They've been able to spread out their schedule a little bit with lots of local travel. But the Sharks have had quite a few days because they're in one of their longer road trips. So on Friday night, they lost on the road to the Flying Cows over in Frederick, 114-100. Then immediately drove up to Reading, Pennsylvania, where they lost to the Reading Rebels 139-119. That was pretty late last night. And now this game was originally slated for 3 o'clock, got bumped up to noon. So you're up in Reading, Pennsylvania, you lose by 20, you got to get on the road, and all of a sudden today, you've got to take on the best team in the league. That is a tough assignment for Coach Cheeks and for the entire Sharks team, who have a much smaller roster than the Seahawks, only working with 9 available guys. The Seahawks have well into the double figures available for them. So you don't have as much depth. It's your third game in 3 days. You've only been playing together for a week in terms of real live gameplay. It's a tall task for the Sharks. We'll see if San Diego can string together something special and shock the Seahawks. Shepard looking for help, gets it, sent into the corner to the point guard, Gredick. Just 5 on the shot clock. Long 3 misses, offensive board. Misstep there by Joshua Harrison. I believe that's the 3rd air ball already for the Sharks. Core showing off his handle again. Nasir Kaur went to Florida A&M for college. They called him the blueprint there. That's often because of his handle and what he does as a guard. Let's go the other way. Nice little slam for Javon Nutter to give the Sharks some life. Still trailing by 9. And look at that size mismatch there. Marcus Kennedy 6'9", Nutter's only 6'6". That's the second and 1 for the SMU product. Back to a double-digit lead for Capital. And when you got 3 inches, you got the footwork he has. Nice little finishing package using the left. Watch out for Marcus Kennedy today. He's already got 6 points. Leads all scorers. The offense just has continued to be a struggle for San Diego. Kaur initiates the contact blocking call. Although Gredick wanted the charge badly. Actually, Shepard, well, let's take another look. He's moving backwards. Feet were not planted, though. Anytime you're shuffling your feet around like that, you're asking for trouble. So Kaur heads to the stripe. And this Capital team has really succeeded through the start of the year. Went to Baltimore back at the start of the month. Took care of business against the Rhythm. The next day traveled to New York City to take on the Phoenix. Won in a close one just by 2 points. Since then, it's been more comfortable wins, though, over the Sharks, as we mentioned last weekend, and then over the Flying Cows last night. Nutter nets it. The Sharks with a little bit of life again. Pulled back within 11. Kaur goes ISO again, and he's fouled. Already 4 fouls, by the way, over the first 5 or so minutes of the opening quarter. So Kaur's at the line. He's originally from Tampa, Florida, and stayed down in Florida for college, down at Florida A&M. He's since worked his way up the East Coast and is now based here in Maryland, where he's a part of the Seahawks in their second year as a franchise, last year in the basketball league, this year in the 94x50 league. And the Seahawks have evidently done quite well, and they're the best team in the league to start the year. Now let's look at this Sharks team again. Head coach Brandon Cheeks. He has an interesting resume. So he played at Long Beach State back in college. He was a walk-on there and played for some pretty good coaches. Played under Seth Greenberg when he was the head coach there in the early 1990s. And they did a lot together. When Cheeks was on that team, Long Beach State was making a push for the top 25. Was a team that upset Kansas on the road, made 2 NCAA tournaments. So he's learned from a coach with a great resume, and obviously was not on the court much as a walk-on back then, but he's learned a lot, spent a lot of time in the AAU circuits, the prep circuits, the high school landscape out near San Diego, and now he's trying to take that coaching knowledge to the next level, although his team's still getting doubled up by the Seahawks. There's that Marcus Kennedy size advantage. He's double teamed, gets rid of it, over to Palmer, pushed out of bounds. So watch out for Kennedy, maybe forcing some bad passes when he gets that double team. Had a turnover very early in this game, nearly had another one there. Nutter's been the only source of offense for the Sharks. He has 8 of their 10 points. So watch out for number 0. Can he get some help? No, not from number 11, Evan Shepard. But it goes back to Bonard Johnson, and the league's leading scorer has a chance to finally get on the board, although he doesn't seem thrilled as he heads to the free throw line. Bo Johnson originally played at Lincoln University in college, and you'll notice that's really where the mismatch is between these two teams. It's the experience level of all its players. You go up and down the roster for San Diego, it's a lot of community college, a lot of NAIA schools, a lot of D2 experience, but no D1 experience. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, Andre Fox, one of the guards, went to High Point in South Alabama. Obviously, Marcus Kennedy spent time at Villanova and SMU. Nasir Kaur played at Florida A&M. Christopher Ray played at Mount St. Mary's along with Junior Robinson. Even Mo Creek, one of the older guys on the team, played at Indiana for a bit and then did transfer to George Washington. But there's just a lot of experience on the Seahawks team. And it makes sense why they're up 20-12, a little over midway through the first quarter. If you're new to the league, it's the classic 4 quarters, 12 minutes, just like pretty much any other professional league. Although, if this game were to go to an extra period, which it doesn't seem like we're on the way for that, there would be an Elam ending, which is a target score, if you've heard of that. You remember the All-Star game a couple years ago, they went with that strategy, but we'll see if we get there. A few subs for the Seahawks. Core heads out, joined by Marcus Kennedy, who wants a breather. So Danny Agbeles, the other 6'9" guy on the court today, steps out there. So keep an eye out for 34 in white. Now the new center for Capital, and he disrupts the shot. There's Mo Creek, 21, the product of George Washington, as I mentioned. And he doesn't take long to make an impact. Bullseye. Mo Creek put up 14 points in that win last night over the Flying Cows. Looking to be a big bench contributor for the Seahawks. Andre Fox and one. Fighting through contact. So Andre Fox showing out on the fast break, fouled by Joshua Harrison. Andre Fox is an interesting guy. So he originally started his college career at High Point, which I'm sure everyone knows about right now. Had that big win over Wisconsin, almost beat Arkansas last night, and he was second team All-Big South in his last year there back in 2018, where he reached 1,000 points in his college career. Then he transferred to South Alabama to end out his college career. The most interesting thing about Fox, though, and I cannot verify if this is true, but on his bio, he says he was born with 12 fingers. Now, I don't know if that is an advantage or a disadvantage in basketball, and it doesn't appear as if he's still playing with 12 fingers, but Andre Fox put up the end one, and his team is still doubling up the Sharks. It's 25-12. Nutter. He's been pretty much the entire offense for the Sharks. Can't hit the three, slithers inside, feeds into the corner, and Shepard's foot was out of bounds. Got to watch out in that corner. You can get trapped there. So it's Nutter with 8 points for the Sharks. No one else with more than 2. It's been pretty well distributed for the Seahawks. Kennedy has 6, Core has 6, Fox has 5, and Palmer has 5. There is Draco Palmer looking inside for the big man, Danny Agbeles. Corner, Junior Robinson. Missed it. Keep an eye out for Robinson. He's the shortest player on the court today, standing at just 5'6", but he was dunking in warm-ups, so do not underestimate him. It's lost. Nutter wide open. Flushes it home. (25-14) Capital over San Diego. But the Seahawks already seem to be in cruise control, although the offense has gone down a bit recently, missing some shots. Opening the door for the Sharks. There you go, Evan Shepard. Pulls his team within 9. Got a nice crew of some kids in the crowd here today. Not as packed as it was last night. Had pretty much the entire far section of seating filled. But that was a Saturday night game. It's a nice, chill Sunday afternoon. Nice step back move by Quag Reddick. Three-pointer goes up. Doesn't fall for Creek. Johnson drives hard and finishes. If the Sharks are going to come back, they need to get the leading scorer in the league a little bit hotter. He still only has 4 points. And 3-ball falls for Sam Acano. Another timeout called by the Sharks. Coach Cheeks wants to talk it over just as he started to pull closer. The Seahawks pull back out to a 10-point advantage. So just a few minutes left in the first quarter. I'll step away for a moment and rejoin you for the last 2 minutes.
Go ahead. You gotta hold it. James, you gotta do it. All right, we'll do it. Bring it on up. Well, since that didn't work, we get a dunk from the Capital Seahawks during the game. Let's hear it for your Capital Seahawks.
And we are back in action. A 10-point lead for the Seahawks over the Sharks. Capital looking to become the first 5-0 team in the league this year. Offensive board, Nutter shot sent back, but a foul on Agbeles. On pace for an even bigger win than last weekend, up 10. And if they can keep up that advantage, have a 10-point lead each quarter, they'll go out and win by 40. Now that's a tall task, but it was a 30-point game last time, 121-91. And you're on your home court as well and facing a pretty fatigued Sharks team. A little bit of pressure now applied by the Sharks. Again, Coach Cheeks is a defensive-minded coach, but that press didn't quite work. An easy 2 points for Acano of the Seahawks. Johnson just heaves up a prayer. Didn't look close. Pausing quickly to reset the clock. Time for about 3 more possessions this quarter. Great passing by the Seahawks. And Akano has taken over the last few minutes. He's up to a team high 9 points. Foul on the corner 3 shot. Jasir Vega, a bench guard for the Sharks, went up for it. Now Vega is actually making a little bit of a homecoming. He played his college ball at a local community college, CCBC Catonsville. So that's a part of the Baltimore County Community College system. So he's originally from this part of the country, ended up out west to try to take his talents to the next level, but he's used to the area, so I'm sure it's a nice return home for him. Most of the rest of the Sharks roster is from out west in California or Arizona or somewhere out there. Just a 1-for-3 trip to the stripe, which certainly does not help when you're looking to knock off the top team in the league. Another clock issue. How about this run by Sam Akano? Put up 22 points last night. He's got half of that already, up to 11. Could be the last possession of the quarter here. Step back, Sharks lost it for a moment into the corner. And they can't connect to pull closer. 36-23, the Seahawks lead the Sharks. A comfortable 13-point advantage as we head into the second quarter. I'll be back with you when we get started with the next frame. right, second quarter about to get underway between the Seahawks and the Sharks. You're watching the 94 by 50 League on SFBN. I'm Tyler Rakin. Thanks for choosing to start your Sunday of hopefully a lot of basketball with us. There's a lot of good hoop on today with the NCAA men's basketball tournament, women's basketball tournament, some other postseason play going on at all different levels. I think a few states still in some high school playoff season. Got to be nearing the end here, though. Trace DeMeth off the mark to start the quarter. Nice move, but no finish there for Trey Patterson. Almost a takeaway by Akano. The offense just hasn't been consistent for the Sharks. Their defense has gotten better, but you need some offense by someone other than Nutter to get back in this game. Akano's had plenty of offense himself for Capital, though. Up to a game-high 14 points. Didn't even start for the Seahawks, and he's made a huge impact. Akano's open in the corner. Feeds it inside, and it bounces off the leg of Mo Creek. Still a comfortable 16-point advantage for the Seahawks. Let's pull up the league standings for you. Obviously, it's the top team and the bottom team in the league today. But let's see what's to come for each team. So the Seahawks a perfect 4-0. The next closest team all the way down at 2-1. That's the Virginia Valley Vipers. There's an offensive foul on Akano, by the way. Down at the bottom of the standings, you actually have the Jersey Shore Breaks at 0-4, so they're actually a half game below the Sharks, who are at 0-3. But you do have this kind of clog in the middle of teams right around 500. The Baltimore Rhythm and New York Phoenix are each 3-2. The Frederick Flying Cows are 3-3, and the Reading Rebels are 2-2. So that'll be the competition as we work towards the postseason, which gets underway in June. But put out the red carpet for Sam Akano. It's just been his day. Capital's getting a little aggressive now, but hard to blame him. Up 18. It's time to get fancy. Agbelis, the big boy, hitting the long J. Jasir Vega's been taking a lot of shots for the Sharks, hasn't made them. Same goes for his teammate Shepard. Wing three. Why not? Trey Patterson, everybody getting involved. (46-23) now. It's getting out of hand early. So if you're confused as to why you just saw a 7-year-old boy apparently drawing up plays on the sidelines, that's because he absolutely is. That's Chris Best, the assistant coach of the Seahawks. He's only 7 years old, but through some family connections, a passion for basketball, and apparently a knack for drawing up plays, he's a legitimate part of the sideline crew for the Seahawks. So what a fun way for him to get involved. Who knows what he'll end up doing? I mean, I'm sure he'll want to play basketball as he gets older, but he might be that type of kid that wants to be a coach from the start. The Van Gundys were both like that. They came up through the Northeast camp system, spent a lot of time up in Syracuse, New York, down in Florida a little bit too, learning how to coach, and both of them pretty much always wanted to do that. So maybe Chris is just another kid that has always wanted to coach and always will. It's a tough profession to get into. Not a lot of job security, so I'm sure his parents will be telling him about that. But the sideline, I know you can't see it, is celebrating with him, so it seems like the score by Miles Whitfield on that last bucket was very much so from a play that was drawn up by, we'll call him Coach Bess. So good work, Coach. Gradich works around and gets fouled. So that's Quad Gredick at the line. Just trying to provide anything to his team. He's more of a passer, has 2 assists today, and is one of the leading assisters in the league, averaging 8 a game. But who knows, maybe he'll need to take a more score-first approach. The team's leading scorer on the season, Bo Johnson, still just at 4 points. We're almost midway through the second quarter. And now the shortest player on the court is scoring, Junior Robinson. The 5'6" guard, stringing it from deep. And again, Gredick's going to the line, but this time he already has 2 points in his back pocket. An old school 3-point play. Ooh, shifty move, elevates and slams. Wow, Trey Patterson, take a bow. And a technical foul afterwards for the head tapper celebration. If you ask Trey, I'm sure he'll say that was worth it. Coach Williams asking some questions of the officials after that. But again, I'm sure Trey doesn't mind. You got a highlight reel dunk. Can't be too upset. Breakaway. Patterson again. He's just showing off with the tomahawk. Trey Patterson, back-to-back dunks. Another one here. 3-on-1, make it 4-on-1. Nope, Just give it over to Robinson for another 3. It's like an all-star game for the Seahawks offense today. They dropped 129 points last night, their most of the season. And they're on pace to blow that out of the water. The most scored by any team in the league this year, I believe, is 139 by the Rebels in a win over the Sharks last night. But with all these threes for the Seahawks, they might hit 150. Step back, Bo Johnson. Those are the shots you need. Jump ball. First one of those we've seen today. So it'll be the 6'3" Mike Gray for the Seahawks going against the 6'2" Bo Johnson of the Sharks. Patterson over to Kennedy, who just floated it in. We've had a few of these clock issues today. Johnson, no on the J. Kennedy over and back. That's a turnover, just the 6th of the day for the Seahawks, and that's actually more than the Sharks. The Sharks have only turned it over 5 times. Their issue has just been shooting. 28% from the field, 17% from 3. That doesn't bode well. Now that does. Gredick picks up his 2nd and 1 this quarter. Kennedy lost it. Fast break opportunity for the Sharks. Joshua Harrison drops it in. Patterson pushed it too far. .4 lead for the Seahawks. Shimmy, shake, and foul. So Miles Whitfield heads to the stripe, and he's the big hometown kid for the Seahawks. Played his college ball at Prince George Community College pretty much just down the road, and doesn't have a huge role with this team quite yet, but he's trying to work his way up the ladder in terms of bench contributors for the Seahawks. He's averaging just 4 points a game. Put up 5 last night. And he should get plenty of run today in what has been a blowout from the jump for the Seahawks. Kennedy gallops. Just couldn't get the lay to go in. Johnson responds on the other end of the court. The deficit has been over 20 since the start of the quarter. Doesn't look like that's changing for now, although the Sharks have made a bit of a push. What can Johnson do? Drives on Patterson, pushes off, finishes over Kennedy. Scoop pass, dropped home by the SMU grad. Every time the Sharks make a bit of a push, the Hawks respond in turn. Although Johnson's waking up with a few buckets and now some free throws coming up.
Substitution for the Seahawks. Number 8, Nasir Kaur. Number 12, Chris Ray. Number 6, Sam McConnell. And number 5, Marcus Kennedy.
Kennedy's going to be open and takes advantage. Johnson jumper goes. We've been trading buckets the last few minutes. Nasir Kaur goes ISO and one. The Capital Seahawks with 71 points and still 2 minutes to go in the first half. That is unreal.
2 minutes remaining in the first half.
I mean, let's look at the game results. I want to confirm what the most points scored in a game this year is, because the Seahawks are going to break the record no matter what it is. Yeah, the record is indeed 139 points, which also was against the Sharks. That was last night. The Rebels dropped 139. The Seahawks are on pace for over 140. They might break 150. Corner three. Akano, too much. Easy lefty finish for Whitfield, the hometown hero. Nice block the other end. Christopher Ray pinned it. Almost had the points. There you go, Harrison. Shot clock is essentially off. Whitfield to Ray. No finishing touches on the quarter. But it's 75-49 at halftime. It's been all Seahawks. We'll be back in about 15 minutes with the second half. One of the most exciting offensive games you've seen this year in this league. second half about to get underway between the Seahawks at the top of the league and the Sharks at the bottom. And you could be watching the highest scoring game of the season from any team in the league today from the Seahawks. 139, the number to beat. You're on pace for 150. You're on pace for a heck of an exciting game. Thanks for tuning in to the 94 by 50 League on the SFBN. Tyler Aiken here. Let's go through some stats before the second half fully gets underway. Leading all scorers, Sam Akano, the 6'6 forward for the Seahawks. He's got 16 points. The other way, Bonar Johnson and Quag Reddick each have 15 for the Sharks. In terms of any other crazy numbers, Gredick also has 4 assists for the Sharks, and his team gets off on the right foot offensively. 4 assists for Trey Patterson of the Seahawks. So it was an early 20-point lead for Capital, and then after that, pulled up to almost 30, then back down to 20. We've been yo-yoing between those two numbers. The Sharks have had their stretches, but have not been consistent offensively. And that's been an issue all season for head coach Brandon Cheeks and company. Corner 3, too long, so maybe a chance for the Sharks to make a statement here in the third quarter. Not looking to win the game. You're focusing one possession at a time. What can you do to just get it closer, get it more respectable? And then if you do, you figure out the next steps from there. Just need to be hitting your shots. In the first half, San Diego shot 38% from the field, 15% from 3. So that didn't help. I mean, this is going to end up being one of the better scoring days for San Diego. Only scored 91 in the season opener. You're probably going to pass that as they continue to punch in buckets. That was Evan Shepard. But when you give up 75 in the first half and you keep letting up points, it's tough. Javon Nutter had a great start to the game, then shut down. Gives it off to Bo Johnson. Nothing. And Akano loses it. So the Seahawks are in a good position today, but what's next for this Capital City team? Well, on Friday, it is a home night game against the Virginia Valley Vipers. And then next Sunday, a week from today, a road trip to take on the New York Phoenix. So a little bit more at home, but then on the road next weekend, and that's the rest of the month. The regular season spans through April, May, and even into June a little bit. The last game of the regular season, that'll be on Saturday the 6th for all teams. Alley-oop doesn't fall for the Seahawks. Turnaround Jay. Harrison gets it. So it's down to 22. It was 26 at halftime. Floater for Fox. The High Point kid. Johnson, heck of a turnaround, and the defender got in his landing space. Nasir Cole. So Bo Johnson, the Lincoln University product, has really stepped up his game since a very quiet first quarter. Only had 2 points in the first 12 minutes. He's now up to a game-high 18 after that last free throw. So he's a microwave scorer. He's the guy you need hot if you want a chance to win some games this year, be competitive in the league. You don't need to necessarily go on the road and knock off the Seahawks in your third game in 3 days, but there will be opportunities to win some games for the Sharks this year. Johnson going pure ISO. And he was fouled, although the Seahawks don't agree with that. There you go for the Sharks. Shepard strings a 3. All comes down to stacking up. Stop scores. Stop scores. All right, there you go. A score and a stop. And Joshua Harrison was cherry picking, but it's now down to a 20-point game. Timeout called by Coach Williams of the Seahawks. So we'll see what Coach Williams, Coach Harvey, and even the 7-year-old Coach Best draw. So you see an adult, Coach Cheeks, over there. But it's actually a 7-year-old drawing up the play for the Seahawks on the other end, which I just find so fun. It's the perfect opportunity to teach a kid how to teach others how to hoop. Air ball on the half-court shot, by the way, in this little competition. Oh, you need a bit more of a running start than that. Back up. No. Oh, boy. Yeah. All right, come on, let's get a run and start here. I like that. No. It was online. You got it? Oh, no one else. All right, that's the half-court shooting contest. All right, the Sharks are within 20. Picking up some momentum here. Have outscored the Seahawks by 6 over the last 6 minutes. And Coach Cheeks of the Sharks is a defensive guy. This is where you need to draw up some big stops. Wasn't pretty. You got one there. Bo Johnson, the engine of the Sharks, nearly an and one. Although the fouls are stacking up for the Seahawks. That was the 3rd foul on Core. So he has 3, Whitfield has 2, which he's picked up somewhat recently. No one else has more than 1. It's just there's like 8 guys with 1 foul apiece on the Seahawks. So no one's really in foul trouble yet, although you should expect some more free throws coming up for the Sharks. 1-for-2 trip. First time since the first quarter that the Sharks are within 20. Pump fake, drive, use the glass, Andre Fox. Reverse spin, Bo Johnson. Fast break, wide open. Make it a 17-point game. It's been all Sharks here in the third quarter. And then the jelly and one for Sam Akano, the star for the Seahawks today. Although just his first points of this quarter.
Second substitutions for the Seahawks. Number 12, Chris Graves. Number 21, Paul Creed. And number 34, Danny Akbalitz. At the line for the Seahawks, Sam Akano, shooting 1.
Shepard digs it out. Bo Johnson might be a better shooter fading away than he is with set feet. My goodness. He's up to 24. Well over a third of his team's offensive production. But Fox, he's been furious the other way. 3 buckets for him in the third quarter. Akano getting hot again, just like he did in the second. And just when the Sharks were making a push, the Seahawks go on a run of their own. Shepard, these air balls are really stacking up for the Sharks. 6 since the start of the game. Had 3 early, and it's now becoming a problem again. But Andre Fox has given the Sharks some of their own problems as well. He's on a tear, up to 14 points. And the lead is back to 24 points for the Seahawks. A little over 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. I'll take a quick break and be back with you in just a moment. down to 17. It's now back up to 24. And we might have an issue with the clock again.
One ticket for $2, three tickets for $5, and 7 tickets for $10. Get involved in the 50-50 raffle. We've got money to give away. Sharks basketball.
Bo Johnson playing a bit of hero ball for San Diego. He lost it. Fouls.
Seahawks basketball. That's the 13th foul against the Sharks.
Well, double team down low. Nice high pass, and the finish is there for Mo Creek, set up by Danny Agbeles. Another whistle against the Seahawks, and the Sharks should be nearing the bonus. I believe the next Seahawks foul will be free throws for the Sharks. Almost a takeaway. Akano would have been wide open for a slam. Instead, Bernard Johnson misses. Shot clock violation. Although if the ball hit the rim, it should have reset. They might just count that. And they do count the basket. That was Trace DeMeth. One of the only players from the Sharks not from California. He's actually from Colorado, went to Adams State, a small school a little bit outside Denver. Agbeles, yeah, he's got a size mismatch. He's 7 inches taller than his defender on that possession. DeMeth was going for back-to-back. He was heat checked. Let's see, they were saying all ball. If you're going to make a slapping motion from behind, unfortunately, you're probably not going to get the call, even if you do connect all ball. That's just how it is. So Mo Creek gets 2 free throws. Mo Creek, he's a confident guy. He started his career at Indiana and said before he got to school that he was going to help bring the Hoosiers back to a national title level. Unfortunately, didn't really play a lot there. Did transfer to George Washington, where he was super successful. Went to the NCAA tournament with them, hit some big shots in big games, helped with some ranked upsets. But did do it at his second school, not his first. That was before the transfer portal has turned into what it currently is. So some credit there as his team now leads by 30 points. Capital is pressing up 30. Correct that, 29 or 27. And believe that was an 8-second violation on the Sharks, so it's a turnover, and the Seahawks can get to triple digits. There you go, Andre Fox brings the Hawks over 100. DeMeth, he's just letting them fly from the corner now. And that is too easy on offense. Christopher Ray takes his turn. Then comes away with a steal. Fast break for the Hawks.
It's his first team's fifth.
Let's see how Danny Agbeles looks. He's a mid-season addition for the Seahawks. They brought him in to get some depth in the front court. He's one of their tallest players, so that certainly should help. He's averaging 8 points, 9 rebounds a game since he was added to the roster. Played his college ball down in Virginia at Hampton. And I guess the big fella can shoot free throws too. Corner three, Joshua Harrison, no. Mo Creeks, come on now. The Seahawks are just showing off. Patterson pull-up goes. I mean, the Seahawks have already scored more than they did in 2 of their wins already this year. Put up 101 in a win over the Rhythm to open the year, then 97 against the Phoenix the day after. They're at 111 already. So a big third quarter push by the Seahawks puts them up nearly 40. We'll finish it out here with the fourth quarter in just a moment. So the Seahawks lead by nearly 40. They're about to put together the best offensive performance of any team in the 94 by 50 league this year. It is a great day to be a Capital fan. It's been a very well-rounded performance. Sam Macano, 20 points. Andre Fox, 18. Marcus Kennedy, 14. Trey Patterson, 12. Mo Creek, 10. And there are 8 other players who have scored for the Seahawks. 13 different guys have put the ball in the hoop today. That was a blocking foul on the initial drive. And another whistle. Going the other way. It's gotten a little bit sloppy here late. It's the third day in 3 games for the Sharks. They played on the road at Frederick on Friday night, last night up in Pennsylvania, taking on the Rebels from Reading. Now today back in Maryland, in Bowie. It's a tough schedule, but you get nearly a week off after this to hopefully recover from that. Jacob Colton misses well short. Trey Patterson adjusts, not enough. Creek. There you go. Although there's an injured Shark on the other end of the court. They should be stopping the game here. It's 4-on-5 right now, and finally the officials stop. That's Evan Shepard down for the Sharks. So his teammates help him off the court. We hope Evan's okay. And we should be getting back into things in a moment. Harrison, no. Whitfield heads to the line. It's still a 42-point game. Pass break opportunity and the finish by Christopher Ray. Harrison's blocked by Ray, getting it done on both ends. Whew! Ray with block after block. Let's take another look. Sloppy turnover, but this is the second chase down block for Ray. He just times it so well. Unfortunately, I don't believe the blocks. No. Let's see. I can find these blocks. What's he at? Those are his only 2 in this game. I thought he had more earlier. Regardless, it's been a good day for Ray. There you go. Jacob Colton finally connects on a corner 3. Bo Johnson ran into 2 defenders. Had nowhere to go. And 1. Joshua Harrison. And the deficit is back under 40. Junior Robinson. He's only 5'6", still has 5 points already. He's played limited minutes, just a few minutes here in the 4th and a little bit back in the 2nd. So the most Capital has scored in a game this year, 129. The most any team in this league has scored this year is 139. The Seahawks are close. Trey Patterson's turn at the line. Circles out for Vega. Lobbed and finished. Dropped in by Patterson. A little over-aggressive by Gray. And a nice swish the other way for Johnson. Gray would have been wide open, fouled in the open court. This might get upgraded. Let's take a look. Taken away, he had no man to beat. That will be upgraded to an intentional foul. So 2 shots for Gray. And he hits both. Another foul. More free throws for the Seahawks. Miles Whitfield, full head of steam. DeMath downs it. And the Seahawks earn the bonus, so they'll get free throws here. And with that free throw, the Seahawks have scored more points than they have all year, beating out 129 in a win over the Flying Cows last night. Just 10 away from the league scoring record on the year, make it 9. Taken away. Patterson has space, behind the back pass, and Whitfield finishes. Javon Nutter tacks on 3 points. Offensive board, almost the putback. From the logo, my goodness. Trace DeMath letting it fly late. So the Seahawks call a timeout, up 42 points, 3 minutes to go, and 7 points away from the league scoring record on the year. We'll step aside for one brief moment and then be back for the final 3 minutes of this game. And we're back, 3:03 on the clock. And the Seahawks have put together probably the most wire-to-wire dominant victory of any team in this league this year, and probably as a whole in the Seahawks season and a half in competition across various leagues. How about an and one for Junior Robinson? Griddick's heading to the line. Nutter. There you go. Whitfield up to 17. Nutter again. No. Few misses. Another corner three. No. I think that was an alley-oop attempt. I got two players shaken up for the Seahawks. That's not good to see. And with that layup, 140 points is the most any team in the 94 by 50 league has scored this year. And this scoring margin will also be the largest of the league this year. Not sure why the Sharks are fouling here. But they are, so Junior Robinson gets 2 free throws. We'll go to the free throw line, maybe one last time here. So the Seahawks win by 48 points, drop 143 total, and improve to 5-0. Take care of business against the Sharks. 143-95 is your final. The Hawks are 5-0. The Sharks down to 0-4. Let's thank the entire broadcast crew here at the Sports Fan Broadcasting Network, putting in great work as always, and call it quits on this 143-95 point game. I'm Tyler Aiken. Thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your weekend.